can a loving God allow you to go through all this suffering and pain? Just curse him and die.
God gave me all the wealth I had. Even if he takes them back, I will continue serving him.
God is so wicked. How can he allow his lovely children to suffer this much?
Behold, the woman the world has forgotten, the wife of Job, a woman who walks through a kind of pain most humans will never understand. She was a wife watching her whole world collapse in a single day. In one sunrise, she buried her children. Her husband, who was super rich, went down to square zero in just one day. Every business she depended on vanished, every servant sorted, every source of income burned to ashes, and before she could even breathe, her husband, the only thing she had left, became covered in boils, sitting in dust, scraping his skin with broken pottery. She loved God, but grief can break even the strongest bones, and sorrow can twist a tongue until it speaks what the heart never intended. And in her darkest hour, in a moment of unbearable pain, she spoke the words that echoed through generations. Curse God and die. That one sentence, spoken in pain, made the whole world saw her as a monster for thousands of years without knowing the real truth. Tonight, the courtroom of eternity opens as the hidden truth is about to be revealed.
At last, the woman who helped me do my work, look at her, a mouth that once praised God, turned into a weapon against him. She didn't lose faith quietly. She told my enemy's greatest servant to betray God with his last breath. It is written that in Proverbs 18:21, that life and death are in the power of the tongue. And what did she choose? Death. She told her husband to turn against God himself. And let the court remember, I did not force her. I attacked Job, but she attacked God. Listened to her own voice. Curse God. Do you understand the weight of that? Blasphemy. Open rebellion. A sin that shook the heavens. Even your own scripture says, shall we receive good from God and not evil? Job held faith, and she didn't just sin in silence. She tried to drag a righteous man into sin with her. Is that not written in Mark 9:12 that whoever causes these little ones to stumble, it were better a millstone be tied to his neck? And she thinks heaven will ignore this.
Don't you dare stand there and judge me like I was some cold-hearted rebel. I was a mother who buried all her children in one day. Do you know what that does to a human being? Do you know what it feels like to hold 10 coffins and still breathe? And you call my words sin? You call my pain rebellion? Where was God when I watched my husband rot in front of me? I didn't curse God. I didn't deny him. I didn't worship idols. I simply said what any broken human would say watching someone they love suffer. It wasn't rebellion. I couldn't watch my beloved husband suffer anymore. And don't start preaching Bible to me. Didn't Elijah say in 1 Kings 19:4 that it is enough? Lord, take my life? Was Elijah condemned? No. Didn't Jeremiah say, cursed be the day I was born? Was Jeremiah evil? No. Even Moses begged God to kill him in Numbers 11:15. Were they blasphemers? No. So why am I the villain? Show me the verse where God said, thou shalt not scream in pain. Show me the commandment that says, thou shalt not break under grief. I lost everything. I was not made of stone. I didn't drag Job away from God. I cried because I couldn't watch him suffer like a dog in the dust. And if grief is a sin, then every human on earth is guilty. I spoke from heartbreak. I spoke from shock. I spoke from the deepest wound a mother can carry.
You compare yourself to Elijah. Elijah cried to God. You told a righteous man to turn against God. Big difference. Elijah said, Lord, take my life. You said, Job, curse God. You tried to pull a righteous man into rebellion. That is not pain. That is poison. You want verses? Here's one. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Matthew 12:34. Your words revealed your heart, and your heart chose blasphemy. And I believe you know what the Bible said about blasphemy. Another one. Do not let any unwholesome talk come from your mouth. Ephesians 4:29. You broke that. Hannah was barren and mocked, she prayed. David lost a child. He worshipped. Paul suffered beatings. He praised. Job himself lost everything he bought. But you went on to curse God. You stood beside the most faithful man in history and became the only voice encouraging him to betray God. And now you stand here proud, arguing, defending. Holy One, please grant me the soul, for she surely belongs to me.
Am totally innocent of all these accusations that Satan, the accuser of the brethren, has been laying against me all these while.
Daughter, I have heard your pain. I have seen your tears. I know the weight you carried. But when did pain become a license to speak against your Maker? When did sorrow become permission to tell another soul to turn away from the only one who could save him? If every believer spoke like you in their darkest moments, how many destinies would be destroyed? When a house is burning, does a wife shout, "Give up and die"? Or does she scream, "Hold on, help is coming"? When a child is drowning, does a mother say, "Stop fighting, let the water take you"? Or does she grab the child and pull with every strength she has? When Job was collapsing in the ashes, you were supposed to lift him, not push him into despair. What if Job had listened to you? What if the most faithful man alive cursed his God? Because of your voice? Words are not small. Words build faith or destroy it. What did I do to deserve a course from you?
My Lord, I know I failed, but please hear my heart, not just my words. My children, my babies, I held them one by one, lifeless. I washed their bodies with my own hands. I dug graves until my fingers bled, and every night, I slept beside a husband I couldn't even recognize. A man who used to stand tall, now scraping his skin with broken pottery. We sold all we had just to feed, and, due to the fact we always sleep on the floor, which made ants, gave me these scars all over my body. My Lord, I wasn't trying to lead him away from you. I was trying to end his suffering. The problem is that I just didn't do it in a right way. The world had been calling me foolish, but no one saw the severe pain I went through. My heart broke completely, and when hearts shatter, words fall out that were never meant to be spoken. Dear Lord, please just under my pain, please.
My daughter, I understand the pain you went through and why you did what you did. It is written, "Shall we accept good from God and not trouble?" Your husband understood this. You think your words were small? Your sentence carried the power to destroy a righteous man's destiny, because one sentence from you could have erased Job's entire testimony. Do you know why the devil touched your home? Because he said, "Job will curse you to your face." And in the moment when Job refused to curse God, you spoke the very words Satan was waiting to hear. You became a mouthpiece of despair, a doorway for darkness. You were not a pagan. You were the wife of the most righteous man of your generation. You witnessed miracles. You saw faith with your own eyes, yet instead of strengthening Job's arms, you weakened his spirit. That sentence carried death, not life. It is written in 1 Corinthians 3:12 that every believer whose works contain moments of wood, hay, and stubble will see those works burned. My lovely daughter, your soul has been weighed on the scale of eternity and found worthy, but you have no single reward in heaven. And you watching this, you who complain in pain, you who speak recklessly when life hits you, you who lose hope the moment your world collapses. There are millions today living exactly like this woman. People who stand strong when life is good, but the moment trouble comes, their faith collapses like dust. You lift your hands in worship when payday comes, but curse God in your heart when the storms rise. You pray when the miracle arrives, but complain when the waiting begins. Listen to me. Suffering is not a license to speak death. Pain is not permission to abandon God. Hardship is not an excuse to lose your reverence. Do you know why many fall? Because they believe God only on good days. But true faith is proven in the fire. Look at your generation. One heartbreak and you stop praying. One disappointment and you stop believing. One delay and you say, God has forgotten me. You cry, why would God allow this? But hear me, some storms come to reveal who truly knows God, and who only knows comfort. Job lost everything, children, wealth, health, dignity, but he said, though he slay me, yet will I trust him. Many of you lose one job, and you stop praying, lose one relationship, and you withdraw from God, lose one opportunity, and you start speaking like Job's wife. Hear this final warning. Good times will come same with bad times. He who endures to the end shall be saved, because during that moment of pain, you can either do things that will lead you to heaven or total destruction. Endure, hold on, guard your tongue, stand firm. Don't let pain push you into sin. Don't let suffering turn you against God, because on the scale of eternity, words spoken in the fire weigh more than words spoken in peace. If you are not ashamed of me in public, comment, Jesus, please help me to trust you even when life hurts. Like and share this message so the light of my word will reach more souls. Subscribe to this channel to continue hearing my true word. May my unending grace continue to see you through all the days of your life.